Hey everybody, welcome back to Tipsy Girl Cooks. All right, so today I'm super excited because we're making one of my favorite dishes, shrimp and cheesy grits, okay? So excited for this very traditional Cajun, kind of spicy but savory dish. Just wait, it's going to be so good. And we can't have a yummy meal without having a yummy cocktail, of course. And kind of trying to keep everything on the southern side, wanted to incorporate a whiskey cocktail, okay? Super excited about whiskey, really strong southern roots. We're doing a pomegranate whiskey sour, which is going to be a nice, refreshing cocktail blended with pomegranate juice, Gentleman Jack whiskey, a little bit of lemon juice, and simple syrup. All right, let's get started. Most grits recipes call for water. One thing that I do differently is I cook my grits in a little bit of chicken broth. And you can use vegetable stock, chicken stock, turkey stock, whatever you feel like, but this is just my go-to. Nice, good old-fashioned chicken broth. Another key ingredient here is our Old Bay. Yes, honey, go and get you some. This seasoning is so good on seafood, chicken, think anything Cajun if you just kind of want to kick up the heat a little bit, but has a really just amazing flavor profile of like herbs, and it's just delicious. Another key ingredient is a little bit of cayenne pepper to take up that heat furthermore, and of course our smoked paprika. I also like to call out our bay leaf. We're gonna add that to our grits as they cook, just to kind of give it that nice savory element as well. We will also be using two different cheeses. I have our unexpected cheddar from Trader Joe's, and then just a regular sharp cheddar. You can do Gruyere, you could do Gouda, your preference, but we're gonna go with these two today. Another thing that we're going to add to our shrimp is a little bit of tomato paste. All right, so let's go ahead and prep our shrimp. Say that this recipe is inspired by a restaurant in Seattle in the Queen Anne area called Tully's Petite. Whew, I've had the best shrimp and grits like to date from Tully's Petite. So if you're ever in the Seattle area, definitely go and check them out. But this recipe I think is a nice best option if you are not here locally. So. All right, so I've added a little bit of sea salt and pepper to my onions and garlic. And you just want to kind of wait until the onions are a little bit translucent and that aroma of garlic is really coming through. All right, so now that that's gotten going, we're going to go ahead and add our pancetta. Love pancetta. I feel like this, like the pork fat, it really kind of kicks up the dish so much more than just like shrimp and grits, you know? You get elements of the saltiness of the pork fat. Then we're gonna add our sausage. It's gonna give it some kind of nice complex textures. I love this. And if you don't eat pork or, you don't eat meat at all, maybe you're a pescatarian, totally you can omit this. So we've added our jalapeno, and I added one whole jalapeno to this. To our pancetta and onion and garlic mixture. We have also added our chicken sausage. I had chicken sausages on hand, but I strongly recommend something like an andouille sausage, kind of like a smoked andouille sausage, to give it like another element of smokiness, some Cajun. Strongly recommend andouille sausage. But today we're using some basil chicken sausages, which will definitely do the job and add a different set of flavors, which I'm really looking forward to. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this sizzle, get the sausage kind of crispy a little bit. But in the meantime, honey, I think I deserve a cocktail, and so do you. So let's go ahead and make our pomegranate whiskey sour. It's time for a cocktail. I deserve it, and you do too. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to be making our pomegranate whiskey sour. So what we're gonna do is start, I can get this open. Start with a shot and a half of our Gentleman's Jack Daniels or your whiskey of preference. Now, you know, there's these things called jiggers that you can use to measure out, you know, your liquor, but we're at home. So what do we need to do that for? All right, so we're going to add whiskey to our cocktail shaker. Again, shot and a half, you know, we're at home, honey. Who really measures when they're at home? Alrighty, and then we're also going to add a half of fresh squeezed lemon. Now, really fun fact is what I learned is a lot of people tend to put their lemon face down in the citruser or the squeezer, right? What I learned from a bartender is actually you want to do it face side up into the lemon squeezer, boom, directly into our cocktail shaker. And that actually gives you the most juice, believe it or not. Fun fact, learn this from a bartender. All right, so that's good to go. Now we're also going to add in about, I'd say, 2.5 shots worth of our pomegranate juice. Again, we're at home. A lot of people do the 1, 2, 3 trick as well. So 1, 2, 3 is 1 shot, 1, 2, 3 is 2 shots, you know, but again, we're at home. All right. I also have some simple syrup that I actually made yesterday, which is just equal parts of sugar and water, right? And you just boil it, let it sit, let it cool, boom. So I'm gonna add that in. This is about an ounce to, yeah, about an ounce of simple syrup. We're gonna add that in. Add a little bit of ice, just a little bit, not too much because you don't want to water down your drink. Who does that, right? All right. We're also going to add ice to our glass. Alrighty. Give it a few shakes here. All right, so what I learned from another bartender is when you're shaking cocktails, do not overshake, again, because you will water down your cocktail. And we can't do that here at Tipsy Girl Cooks. We don't like to water down drinks, okay? How are you gonna get tipsy with watered down drinks? Alrighty. All right, I cannot wait. So here we have, actually we can't serve you a drink without a garnish, honey. 1 second. All right, so I'm just gonna add, ooh, yeah, it's gonna be nice. A little bit of a lemon peel here. All right, now we have our yummy pomegranate whiskey sour. Cheers. Oh my gosh. It's delicious. Okay, so it's like a sweet tart. It almost reminds me of a sweet tart. So you get a little bit of the tardiness from the lemon juice and then the pomegranate juice as well. But then that Jack Daniels comes in and gives you a nice, smooth, sweet finish. And it's a healthy cocktail. Pomegranate juice is very good for you. Oh my gosh, that pomegranate whiskey sour, honey. Delicious. Bomb. All right, so our sausage and pancetta is crisping up very nicely. And then we also are gonna go ahead and start with our grits. I recommend starting your grits at the last minute, right? So start it right when you add the shrimp because those two are gonna cook really fast, okay? So in our pan or our pot, we have, that drink is hitting me. We have a cup and a half of broth and then a half a cup of water, okay? So 2 cups equal. All right, that's going ahead and it's getting simmering, and then we've also added a bay leaf to our pot as well. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add our shrimp to our pan here with the pancetta and the garlic. Keeping an eye on this pot, making sure it's not boiling, but just simmering. All right, very quickly, we're gonna add about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. A little more, a little less if you don't really like it too spicy. And then a teaspoon each of our smoked paprika, our citrusy garlic, our old bay. We're gonna go ahead and work on our grits, okay? So for 2 servings, I recommend about a half a cup of grits. We have that measured out. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it directly to the pot. Give it a nice stir. Let it do its thing. Okay, y'all, so what's Tipsy Girl Cooks without a few errors? So upon adding the grits, I was just like, this is really watery. So I added about a 4th cup more of grits to get it to the right consistency. So you're looking at, if you're doing 2 cups of liquids, do about 3/4 cup of the grits, okay? But that's okay. All right, so now this is looking good. We're gonna turn that on low. And actually, you can go ahead and turn it off and keep it on the heat though, but turn it off because we're not done yet. Oh, no, no, no. We're just getting started. All right. So while this is sitting, I am going to go ahead and finish up our shrimp here. I'm going to turn off the heat with this. We're going to add a squeeze of lemon as well as a tablespoon of tomato paste, okay? Give that a nice stir, and then your shrimp is done. And if you don't want grits, this is going to be just as delicious by itself. Okay, so we've added our lemon juice. Now we're gonna add our tomato paste, and then we're gonna finish. So to the shrimp and grits, we're gonna go ahead and add a tablespoon of butter, and then about a 4th cup of heavy cream. You can also use half and half, or you can omit this, but I like to add it because I feel that it makes it really nice and creamy and then helps the cheese melt into the grits better. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give this a stir. And again, your grits still should be nice and hot, so definitely want to make sure that your stove is off, but you still keep it on the hot burner. See, so we're getting nice and creamy. As you can see, but we're still not done. The best is yet to come. Go ahead and complete our grits. Before we add the cheese, we're gonna go ahead and fish out our bay leaf. Put that off to the side, you no longer need that. Then we're going to go ahead and add a 1/4 cup each of our favorite cheeses. Again, whatever cheese you like. Sometimes I do mild cheddar. Sometimes I do a little Gruyere. I've done Parmesan before. That's a fun one. And then we're gonna go ahead and do unexpected cheddar. All right, gonna work that into our grits. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite part. Who doesn't love cheesy grits? And some people add do just like sugar and butter. Some people are just like salt and pepper. I mean, it's really your preference, but I love the cheese in this because it completely cools down the spiciness of the shrimp so that your mouth isn't on fire. All right, so that's all done. You can add a little salt and pepper to this if you want. I'm not going to, just because there's salt in our chicken stock, and butter as well. I use salted butter, so we're good. As well as the cheese, it kind of gives a little bit of saltiness. So you will layer with grits first, then top with that yummy spicy shrimp, and then you will cut some green onions to put on top and garnish with a little bit of cilantro. Enjoy. All right, so we have completed our yummy shrimp and grits. And I also want to mention that you can do this with fish. A lot of people do fried fish and grits. It's so good. But before I let you go, share a bite with me. All right. So good. I must say, even though we used an entire jalapeno, it's spicy, but not overpowering. It has a nice kick. And it's not the star of the show. Honestly, the sweet shrimp is. You get the sweetness from the shrimp. You get the brightness from the tomato paste that we added in there. A little bit of citrus that, we did right at the end with that lemon juice. Smokiness from the paprika and the sausage. It's so yummy. And then you get a little bit of the saltiness from the pancetta. It's just so good. And then to wrap all of that up, that creamy, cheesy grits. It just has like this nice velvet layer right at the end to kind of calm down the spiciness that is on your palate. So hope that you enjoyed this meal. Please like and subscribe below and check out the bio for more tips, the recipe, everything that you need to know about this meal. Thank you for tuning in from my kitchen to yours. Cheers.